Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Today I'm going to be covering the new Tier 10 American destroyer, the USS Laffey. As you can see, it looks fairly similar to a already existing Tier 10 destroyer, maybe two. It's actually similar to the gearing, but it's actually the same class as the Yu Yang, the Alan M. Sumner class destroyer, the USS Laffey. So this is a Tier 10 destroyer. It is the Dockyard ship available right now that you can grind. And I decided to make a review for it because, well, I got it a bit early because I wanted to get it a bit early so I can play it and showcase it to you guys. So before we start, the ship build I'll be using for this video is this. You feel free to pause the video and take a look at it, of course. And again, I do say this every video, but it's it's been working because you guys have been subbing a lot. So, like, thank you a lot. So, if you guys aren't subscribed though, more than 50% of you are still unsubscribed. So, I would greatly appreciate a sub if you haven't done it already. And if you've been enjoying the content, I would greatly appreciate a like to the video and maybe even a comment. But let's get into the USS Laffey here. So, what do we have? Well, actually, I just played this game a bit earlier today. Both games will be replays. This is more of something like a cap contester style game, and the next game would be more of a damage farmer style game. But here we go. We got the Grozovoy popping up here very early on. Now you're gonna see me miss a few shots here because my aim, I don't know, maybe I'm coping, but I'm like shooting where I think he is, but I'm missing, so I'm kind of coping. But first, you're gonna see the gimmick here, the first gimmick of the USS Laffey. You saw that burst fire mechanic. We got some damage output on him. This is going to be a bit of a high octane match, so we're going to talk a bit, not too fast, but I'm going to try to run you through a few things whilst talking about the gameplay. Now, you see me playing a bit aggressive here. The reason for this is I'm trying to get behind this rock so the USS Burrows with the sap doesn't one-shot me. I get bow in, basically, and he won't get big sap damage on me. But more importantly, you see here the second gimmick on the USS Laffey. We've got a super heal of 8.3k HP with the HP flag and HP perk and heal flag, so it's gonna go up to 8.3k HP. If you do have Alexander Ovechkin on your Laffey, the heal is going to be bigger. And you notice the extra consumable there, the Y key. That is a smoke screen. That is the same smoke screen we're gonna have if you watched the Burrows video a few days ago. The Burrows has a similar type smoke screen, except Burrows has a 3 minutes and 20-second smoke screen. The USS Laffey only has a 1 minute and 20-second smoke screen. What this smoke screen is when you click it, this timer starts going down, but you can choose to stop the smoke whenever you want. So you need to time it a bit more efficiently with the USS Laffey than you do with the Burrows, because the time is very precious for you. So, what are the differences between the Gearing class and the Alan M. Sumner class, right? In the game, at least, well, in real life as well. In my opinion, in real life, because I'm not sure. I did ask ChatGPT a while ago about this, so do correct me if I'm wrong. And also, just tell me if I'm right as well. USS Laffey, or the Alan M. Sumner class destroyers, are a bit shorter than the USS Gearing. Gearing class came after the Alan M. Sumner class, and basically they were longer because they could store more fuel inside them. I'm not sure if this is the case, but I believe that is the difference between the Alan M. Sumner and the Gearing class. The Gearing class are a bit longer. So anyway, we got this Grozovoy coming in. We're gonna try to eliminate him this time because we missed so many times before. We could have killed him before, but we actually just end up killing him now, which is good anyway. So we get our 17.9k damage and get one kill here, mostly on the Grozovoy and the Burrows so far in terms of damage. You see me reversing here. I don't take into account this spotter plane from the Venezia. I completely turn my brain off, unfortunately, and just say, oh, this plane's not gonna spot me. I'm chilling. But the plane decides to completely turn around and run towards me at full speed, and I kind of don't even pay attention. I get spotted. I panic. I smoke, and the Venezia gets the shots off. He only does 5k damage, luckily, because if he did more, I would have gotten smashed. He was at literally 4 kilometers from me. A Venezia versus basically like a Gearing, you can say, at these ranges should do a lot more damage, but we were a bit lucky in that regard. Our gun, as you can see, this is the first time I actually experienced it. This patch is permanently destroyed, but it's actually not permanently destroyed. It's just temporarily destroyed for 40 seconds. We can't use it, but we actually get it back, which is really interesting. This is actually one of the best changes. I didn't actually know about this change before today. Ooh, we do get a torp hit on that Burrows from before. which is really nice because we end up killing him. And that helps us as well eliminate another destroyer threat from the match, which is really nice. But as I was saying, the permanent, you don't get permanently destroyed turrets anymore, which is extremely nice. They do come back, which adds a, and I think it's fairly, I think a really good change. And I assume most of you guys agree, but if you don't agree, do let me know. But I think that's probably one of the best changes, I think, recently. I believe also, I don't know if it's true, I think so though, AA guns and secondaries cannot get permanently destroyed anymore as well, which is also a very welcome change. But anyway, back into the Laffey Dockyard ship. I assume you guys are wondering if it's worth it or not. And for 5,000 doubloons, I think it's probably worth it. It is a tier 10 destroyer at the end of the day. Does that mean it's something that's going to be super overpowered? To be honest, when I was grinding through it, I thought it's gonna be a bit better than when I got it. I've been having a bit of a hard time playing it. Doesn't mean it's hard to play or something. It's not that easy to play, but it's not bad. Like, it can do pretty well sometimes, as I'll show you next game. But in terms of like playing, like, it does feel like you do need to be a bit better at the game to kind of figure it out exactly, because you got that smoke screen which isn't that long, so you might be inclined to use it more often. You got the super heal, which might inspire you to play very aggressive, but if you do, you might actually end up dying, and you'll see this game I will push up a bit too aggressive maybe. You got the F key, so it kind of makes you want to burst, but the burst fire in this case, because I got a lot of questions on my Twitch chat today asking me, is the burst fire like USS Johnson? Do you get more DPM with it on than off? In this case, for the USS Laffey, no. So the burst fire actually has quite a long reload in this case, so it's actually better to use the normal guns than the burst fire. You only use the burst fire if you really need to burst fire down a destroyer and go dark, or you're in an emergency situation, you're about to die, you get some shots off that, etc. That's kind of it. But as you saw, I was open watering a bit. You can open water with this ship, just not too much. You also don't have a speed boost. You only go 38 knots, so you're fairly slow. Here you see me making the game-changing mistake from me. I'm running it down. So basically, I just died here going in front of this rock because you see this Kushiro and Republic. I didn't expect them to come to me as fast as they did. It's probably because I'm also moving in their general direction. So they're gonna expect me being here. Spell, they have RPF, so they kind of know where I am, and I just kind of just ran it here. Also, that Haaland is on the one line. I don't really know where he is, though. He hasn't been spotted in quite a long time. So I'm gonna just decide to start open watering this Republic for fun very soon, because I just want some damage. I want to squeeze some damage out, and maybe distracts the Kushiro so he goes full broadside to dodge my torps. Sorry, to eat my torps, but unfortunately he ended up turning the other way and he ended up dodging my torps. It is what it is. And the Haaland just got spotted in front of me, pre-kited. I take a smoke screen. Of course, there's a Kushiro in my face, which has 5 km hydro, so we have to be a bit cautious about that. But seems like his hydro is not running, so we're chilling. So I'm gonna decide to full speed out of the smoke, potentially even turn off the smoke, which is a big mistake here from my end, because it ends up killing me, unfortunately. I didn't expect the Haaland to come straight towards me. I thought he just beached, but he actually managed to turn around very fast, and it did surprise me, as you see. And he's at 10k HP. I'm at 11. I do have a super heal available, but there is a Kushiro in my face. So in this case, I'm gonna do the emergency button, and I'm gonna click the F key, guys, and I'm gonna try to get him right before I die. And we trade 1 for 1, which isn't the best, but there's not many enemy ships left, which means we actually do probably just end up winning the game. For personal score for our first game there, we got 79,590 damage, 159 shell hits, 1 torp hit, 1 plane shot down, 2 incapacitations, 3 kills, 2 fires, 1 flood, 1 defended ribbon, 1 cap, and 2 spotted ribbons. Our only achievement was devastating strike on the enemy burrows. We did get 2nd place on our team, which is okay. Not first, so not that good, right? For detailed report, we got 19k on the Burrows, 14k on the Grozovoy, 13k on the Haaland, 23k on the St. Vincent, and some damages on the rest. Not really anything on the Venezia. We're very lucky to live that long because we did get pretty hit. Well, we should have gotten hit pretty hard by the Venezia, which we didn't. As you can see, damage distribution, though, mostly from high explosive this game. And that's kind of what you're going to be expecting most of the time with the ship. And maybe some torp damage sometimes. We did go for the pretty much full gun build almost on this ship. So we're not expecting big torp damage. But let's go into our second game in the burrows. Or at least let me show you that. Because it won't be a live commentary, but it will also be a replay. Here we are in the second game in the USS Laffey. The build, by the way, just to remind you guys, if you forgot, or maybe you're watching the second game first, this is the build that I'm running for the Laffey. So back into the game, you can pause and take a look at the build, etc. But the Laffey, in terms of is it worth it or not, I think I told you in the first game, but it probably is worth it for 5,000 doubloons, especially if you like some American destroyers. And it is a historical destroyer. It did exist, and it does have a story. I don't know the story, and I would love you guys to tell me the story, because I know you guys, well, some of you guys know naval history more than I do. I would love to learn a bit more. Maybe it shut down a lot of planes. I'm not really sure what it did, or it got hit really hard, but please, I would love for you guys to explain to me, because I don't really know. But anyway, this is the second game. This is a game, actually, the Greece game I played after this game. This game I was still trying to learn how to play the ship. I haven't been having such an easy time overall playing it. For example, the Burrows, the Kushiro, and the Sibir, I kind of know their playstyle instantly. I got into them and I know how to play them and everything. I had actually a really good monster game today in the Kushiro. I think it was like 250k, which is okay on stream. But this one I actually had the hardest time learning so far. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just maybe it's not a ship I'm personally used to playing as much. But overall, it can be pretty decent in certain situations. And I think, I don't know, maybe, I don't think you should build it for torps, actually, because the torp range is just too limited. But getting up close to those battleships and getting some torps off is pretty nice. But I don't think you should build it into torps. I think playing it with the guns is how it's intended to be played. But anyway, you saw us burst fired at Preußen there. 6.4 thousand damage. Pretty decent. But I'm just chilling behind the rock. Now, this game is going to be a bit of a more, or a slower, more methodological type of game. There's not going to be much happening, you know, till the later ons in the game. But I'm trying to play a bit slower and trying to see what am I supposed to do with the ship exactly. Now, I don't play it that well because there is an A cap completely free and I don't end up taking it very early on, and I should. But I was just not 100% sure what to do. Now, this is much earlier on when I was playing this ship, so do please forgive me. Now, I did play this ship quite a lot now. Well, not quite a lot, probably around 10 games over the past few days. This day I played it the most. I think I played like 5-6 games or something today. And I've had some okay games, right? But most of the time, not really big damage. I do end up winning most of the games. This one won't be one of those games. Hint, hint. But most of the time, I'm not farming a lot of damage. And maybe it's just because this ship is not a turbo damage farming destroyer. But I may be wrong. And I may be wrong. I don't want to say it's not. Because maybe it is. And I'm just not playing it that well myself. But that's why I'm going to keep playing it after this video and just keep trying. But I still actually enjoy playing it, you know, even though maybe I'm not getting huge damage games myself, I'm still enjoying playing it. And that's the nice thing about it, I guess, is you get into it, you got the super heal, you can play a bit more aggressive. You got that smoke screen, which doesn't really help you that much. It's 1 minute 20, it does help you, but it's not like the Burrows one where you can kind of use it not all the time, but more often, right? This one is, you need to use it in certain situations. You can't just sit in it and farm. It's more like to go dark, for example. The heal is really nice, 8.3k. Downsides of the ship would be the actual speed of the ship, would be its main downside. I think, I don't remember. Oh, torp range, I guess, over gearing. You do get a slightly more gun range in gearing, which is nice. The reload is 2.5 seconds with this build, though, specifically with this build. Because I think gearing actually also goes down to 2.5 seconds with the same build. But I am speccing gearing for more of a hybrid, torpedo hybrid, and some gun, not a lot. So, of course, it's going to have worse gun reload than this. So you see me FK again. here because I'm just trying to go dark, I guess, after I use it. But it's gonna take me some time, I guess, before I get behind this rock. But it seems like no one is able to shoot me anyway. So I'm chilling. The A cap is completely free, but I'm not taking it. Now you guys must be like, why aren't you taking it? Well, I'll be frank, guys. I wasn't thinking this game. I really wasn't thinking. You know, the other game, the game you saw, the first game, I'm very playing cap contester role, maybe a bit too aggressive. But in this game, I'm playing, and most of the time I do play it as a cap contesting role. I go for the cap with this ship. The concealment's decent at 6.0. It's not as good as Gearing's 5.9 or Yu Yang's 5.8, for example. So you are gonna get outspotted by your peers. But at 6.0 with the super heal, it's okay. So I kind of most of the time, not most of the time, but sometimes I guess go for the caps really early on. In this case, I didn't. And does it cost us the match? I don't think so, because well, maybe actually, I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't think it does, because we had pretty much a ship disadvantage the entire game. But I should have. At the end of the day, I should have went for the cap, and I didn't, and that's a mistake. But I'm happy to showcase games where I do make mistakes as well, because you guys, at the end of the day, can learn from it as well. And that, you know, I'm not going to be this perfect player that never makes mistakes, guys. And now I know this is an obvious mistake, not going for this cap and getting it, but I feel like it's a good match to show, because you guys will learn from it as well. You know, maybe sometimes you're not thinking straight. Maybe you're like me, you're talking to the chat and you're just not thinking about the cap at that moment in time. So, you know, it's good to showcase these things because you guys can learn from it at the end of the day, and maybe also improve your gameplay. You know, I know some of you are probably better than me too, and some of you are probably not. And sometimes it's good to showcase each other's mistakes. And I know I'll get made fun of for not capping, but it's okay. It happens. Anyway, I'm trying to get up close to these battleships. Maybe I can get some damage on them. Hopefully. Since we're down on 2 caps and we don't have one because our destroyer's not capping. Our Laffey's not capping. But I'm trying to get a bit closer to these battleships. Maybe I can get some damage on them potentially. I wanted to actually initially sit behind this rock and try to farm them. But these rocks aren't really rocks you can farm battleships behind, because they're very tall islands. Here we go. We gotta conquer. There's a cyclone coming in. Our Yoshino's actually capping A. Good on him. So thank you, our Yoshino, for doing what I should have done 10 minutes ago. But there you go. We got a smoke screen. You'll see the smoke screen being functional, I think. And you see me go dark instantly, because that's how smokes work. And hopefully we can get some damage on this GK. Not a lot. We're kind of relying mostly with the ship, from what I've noticed, is we're relying on either fires or flooding. So when someone gets a flood, he DCPs. You're trying to get that perma-fire. If you get a fire, he probably will DCP instantly, and you're trying to get that perma-fire. That's how you're going to stack damage in this ship. Not really from just raw damage most of the time. Looks to be from the fires and floods, maybe some torps, and guns will obviously help, but we want those fires. We want everything else. So as you can see, I got the fire. I turned off my smoke screen, and I'm going to leave my smoke because I don't want to sit in it anymore, because there's a GK running at me with hydro. Now, these smokes work like crawling smokes, so you can't go full speed smoke with them. You have to go with the 1/4 speed to stay inside them. I'm getting a bit excited. I kind of want to start farming some more damage on this GK because he's getting a bit low. So I might shoot him. Yes, I do shoot him. We're up to 71k damage. Maybe we can kill him, potentially. Boom, 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 boom. Now, realistically, a better position than this would be in the B cap, maybe fighting the Harugumo, maybe fighting the Daring. But we also have to keep in mind there is a Salem supporting them. So me playing too aggressive into that, I might just die to the Salem there, especially with a Cyclone. So like this, we're kind of conserving some HP, but, you know, we are losing. But at the end of the day, we are also 3 ships down. That doesn't mean the game is over. In this case, it's almost over, I guess, but we're up to 90k damage, so we're trying to do okay. I don't really know what to say right now. It's kind of just Cyclone. We're sailing around. I'm trying to figure out some ship positions. I get radar, which is very random for me. I really thought it was the Salem, but then I clicked tab and I realized there was a Brisbane in the game. So it's probably just the Brisbane since the Salem was last spotted in CCAP and the Brisbane was spotted, well, down here on this flank. So I'm just a bit panic mode because I'm not sure where the Brisbane is 100%. So I'm kind of just a bit on panic mode. I want to spot these battleships for my teammates so they know what to deal with. But we're going to turn a bit around here. See? There's nothing here. So there is a spotter plane up. Oh, there's a Colombo for my team. We didn't shoot it, of course, or else we get smashed. There is the GK plane. So the GK is somewhere around, but I actually mispredict where he is. I thought he's here. If you see my mouse on the minimap, I thought he's like somewhere here. I think he actually turned around though, unfortunately. This plane was still chilling down here, which is pretty funny. So the Preußen, we don't know where it is. The Conquer, we don't know where it is. The Colombo, we kind of know where it is. And the GK, we kind of have a general idea where it is. The Harugmo ends up running it down into the A cap, into my team. And this is where I kind of realized if I did cap the A cap early on, the points wouldn't have been this bad, I think. They would have been more like 800 to maybe 600, which is actually a lot more reasonable and playable, actually. So that's definitely on me. There's not many games I watch where I'm like, oh, I lost because of literally this. I wouldn't say we lost because of this, because I think we still end up almost all dying at the end. But I think it would have made the game a bit more close, or a bit closer, which means we would have played a bit more and we could have done more damage, right? Anyway, the Colombo gets spotted. The Brisbane gets spotted in my face. He hydros me. You know, I panic a bit. I torp. The ultra torps. I'm trying my best to survive. I don't know what's going on at this point. This is a bit of an... The game is not one to learn from, guys. But it's more... Actually, it is something to learn from. Because you kind of learn... Don't be in these positions with your Laffey. You're kind of more playing it like that first game, right? And ooh, we do get a little torp there on the guy. We get 11,000 damage. We try to burst fire, get some chunky damage here on him. He's going up above that 8-kilometer cyclone range. So maybe we do some damage there. Also, the Salem died somehow on the enemy team. I'm not sure how that happened, but it did happen. And we're up to 106k damage. We are still losing by a lot. But it's okay. Maybe we can kill some ships. Now, I'm still not sure where this Preußen is. I do get radar here, which is a bit bad because I am bow in now to the Brisbane. And the Preußen gets spotted right behind me, which is nice because now we actually know where he is. He's full HP. We're going to turn this ship around. Howden Layu also dies. Our team is doing extremely well. Unfortunately, Bourgogne goes down to daring torps. I'm going to turn my ship around and maybe we can kill this Preußen. Maybe potentially with the Schlieffen, Howden Layu support, we can potentially just kill him straight away. He is full HP though, but he is an isolated target, which makes him a bit more juicy. Now, you see me opening up here. I do have a super heal available. This is what makes me a bit more overconfident here. I also have the smoke available with 36 seconds left, so we have some time to deal with it. I FK a bit early here, unfortunately. Which I'm not sure why I did that either. Because I could have just kept shooting him. Oh, actually the reason I did that was because he's running at me with probably Hydro. So we kind of want to get away from him potentially. Schlieffen also kills the Conqueror. It makes his game really close. It does make his game really close. And it does make you think. If we did cap the A cap, we probably just end up winning. Or I'm not sure. So Preußen, he's down to 57k HP. We're going to try to light him on fire. And this is the only game, by the way, I think I did over 150,000 damage in the Laffey. Otherwise, most of them were like 180. I think that's kind of it. 100 or 80 and this one, which sat a bit higher. Only because we got some battleships to farm. So yeah. That doesn't mean I recommend you play it like this. Definitely not. Definitely not. But I'm going to keep playing the Laffey. I'm going to keep trying to figure it out to get better. I think overall I've done pretty decently in it though. So Wither, We get a Wither. We get a lot of fires this game. 6. Actually, not that many, but we got a Wither and double flood, I guess. And you see me chunking him down here. Mostly my team's doing the damage, but I think we got around 40,000 damage on him here. Actually, if we go up a bit higher and we burst him down, let's see if we get the kill. We do get the kill. And we end up going to 170k. But that's pretty much the game at this point. It's pretty much over. And even though we could have gotten the A cap a bit earlier, I still don't think we win this game. Because they're still up to 900 points. They have a full HP Colombo. And they have the Brisbane. Now, maybe getting the cap earlier would have maybe inspired their team to push up a bit more aggressive. But I'm not really sure. But that's kind of it for this game. For our second game in the USS Laffey, we got 172,472 damage, 285 shell hits, 2 torp hits, 1 incap, 1 kill, 6 fires, 2 floodings, and a spotted ribbon. Our only achievement was Wither that game. Team score, we got 4th place on our team as expected because we played it pretty bad. Detailed report, 74k on the Preußen, 60k on the Kurfürst, 17k on the Conqueror, and then 16k on the Brisbane, and some damage on something else. 82k damage from HE, 67k from floods and fires, mostly from fires, and we got 2 torpedo hits as well. Damage received 18,000. Credits and XP, this is the screen. Now for this game, realistically, of course we could have played better, and there were mistakes made, but I'm happy to showcase one game where we're playing very objective based, where we can assert some dominance in terms of our super heals on destroyers, as you saw in the first game. In the second game here, we played it more of the damage-esque role, and you can see, for example, we didn't do that well in terms of the objective. And you need to find a balance between both, I guess, but mostly with the Laffey, we're looking at least right now, from what I see, is more of that team play-oriented role and less of the damage farming sort of role. But if you have a teammate maybe with you that can help you out, you're going to have a really good time, especially if he's a radar or a smoke ship or something. You're going to have a really good time with this ship as well. So let's go back into the port and take a look at the build. For my commander build, I've got preventative maintenance, last stand, survivability expert, superintendent, concealment expert, adrenaline rush, main battery, NAA specialist, and demolition expert right now, guys. If you have a recommended build, maybe something else, I think this one is the one I'm using. I kind of enjoy it, I guess. It even helps me when I'm fighting the destroyers. Maybe if you could replace maybe demo expert and main battery NAA specialist, you could take fearless brawler, for example. It gives you slightly better reload, but I think the difference is 0.1 of a second, maybe 0.2. But that's kind of it, I guess, for replacement. You also have equipment. I've got main battery mod 3, concealment system mod 1, prop mod 1, aiming system mod 1, engine room protection, and main armaments mod 1. So that is the Laffey. Let's take a look to see if the armor layout, because some of you were interested in that. It doesn't have the gearing 21mm in the center section. It has the 19mm. For the exterior camouflage, we've got on the USS Laffey. Now, this is an interesting part. So we've got the clean variant here of the normal USS Laffey here, a clean version, which is a 2-tone color, which looks pretty nice on the USS Laffey, actually. And we've got the alternate, which is actually just the same. It reminds me of the USS Kid camouflage, this one. Looks pretty much the same. I prefer the normal one, though, because it's something new. And then we've got the battle-hardened Laffey, which is the one I've been using, actually, which is the battle damage, maybe, version. We've got some damages, and we'll take a look at it, actually, right here. And we'll check it over. We've got some damage over the turret, some bullet holes, maybe, some shrapnel. We've got an E written here, or I'm not sure exactly why. I would love you guys to explain what the E stands for. We've got Laffey written on the back, which is nice. 724, of course. We've got some rust, some damage to the torpedoes. We've got another E. And then we've got 20 planes here, E. I assume it shot down 20 planes in real life, but I'm not so sure. And then we've got 5 stars. I believe that represents the battle stars, maybe. I would love for you guys to explain to me exactly what that all is, because you guys would know more about the history of the ship than I do. But a pretty cool ship, pretty cool looking ship, definitely very nice. For the ship characteristics for the ship, we've got 23,100 HP. We've got 6 127mm guns with a 2.5-second reload with this build, 12.4-kilometer gun range, HE and AP, plus a burst fire mode. Remember, guys, it doesn't have more DPM with burst fire. That is only the USS Johnston. For torpedoes, we've got 10 torpedoes, only 8-kilometer range. They reload every 140 seconds with this build. They do 17.9k damage, 66 knots of speed, 1.4-kilometer detection. For our maneuverability, 38.3 knots, making you actually faster than gearing, but gearing does have the additional speed boost that makes it go faster. And for our concealment, we've got 6-kilometer detection on the USS Laffey. So not too bad, but not too great regardless. And the last thing we want to discuss is the price of the Laffey. It is available in the Dockyard. I believe you only need 2 or a few. I'm not exactly sure how many Dockyard phases you need to buy. Maybe 4. I bought a few more so I can cover the ship maybe before it's over, so you guys can get a review. And here is what it looks like in the Dockyard. I don't know if we can watch all the phases. Oh. Stop watching. Oh, we can watch this, I guess. This is cool. I don't think I've ever seen an animation like this for a Dockyard ship, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so we're shooting down some planes with our main guns, our dual-purpose anti-aircraft. Okay. Nice. Oh. Okay. So, is this representative of real life? Did it actually get kamikazed by this many planes or no? And also, did it get bombed? Is this what happened? Kindly explain, guys. I would love to know. But a very nice animation indeed. And if that is historically accurate, that is awesome. And I believe there was one for the blue car too. So that's great. Love to see then some animation work. So that's pretty cool. Very nice. So let's go back. So that was the Dockyard, and that's what you get. The price is around 5,000 doubloons. I think it goes up a bit more maybe if you don't get that early bonus, which I don't think most of you do have that anymore. But Wargaming gave out quite a lot of doubloons, so you should be able to get the Laffey even completely for free dispatch. So that's pretty nice. If you get those doubloons from those daily logins, you get 500 doubloons every daily login. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for the Laffey video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I featured one game where I'm playing very aggressive, pretty much automatic win because we're playing so objective based, and the other one was more damage farming, ignore the objective, which was big mistakes, but you guys can learn from that, so that's awesome. And of course I can learn from that for the future. But I will keep playing the Laffey, see how it is. But to me, I kind of enjoy playing it regardless. Even though it's not farming maybe as much damage as I wanted to right now, I still enjoy playing it quite a lot. And you know, it's a cool, unique take on the gearing class ships. So, well, not gearing class, it's LNM Sumner, but similar-esque ships, right? It's very cool. And I know a lot of people were excited to get the USS Laffey because it is a historical ship and it does have some good history or something. So that's pretty awesome for a lot of people. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, please leave a sub to the channel and maybe a like to the video, and of course comment what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy about Laffey. Are you gonna be getting it? Are you not? If you got it already, are you enjoying playing it, for example? And will you be getting it or not? And do let me know what video you want me to cover in the what ship you want me to cover in the next video. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video, and big fan.